Yo, what's up everybody? Today I want to show you guys the Dota 2 but numbers generator. This is a tool we made that allows you to really easily make Dota 2 custom games. Now it's not gonna be the wildest custom games you can make with them, but you can make a lot of cool stuff really quickly, really easily. It's very accessible, and that was our goal. So let me go and show this off a little bit. Now I'm gonna be talking about the Dota 2 but template as well, which is this thing right here. The Dota 2 but template is kind of the core essential component of any custom game that you want to build. That's just kind of a modification of normal Dota 2. And please make sure that if you're gonna make a custom game, please use this. Right? We'll talk about this later though. Right now we want to prioritize talking about the but numbers generator. The template will come up later. I just wanted to mention it ahead of time. So, what is this? Well, this is a tool that allows you to really easily and quickly make custom games. Now, what do you need to be able to use this? Well, first of all, you need this, right? You just go to the GitHub page and down here there's a little description of everything that you need, basic maths, follow simple instructions. That one didn't go so well. And then you can, of course, modify it if you know more stuff. But other than that, you need a text editor, and you need Node.js, you need the workshop tools, and I guess Git if you want to, but you don't really need it. Workshop tools. Go to Dota, properties, and then you go into betas, DLC, there you go. And then you select the Dota 2 workshop tools DLC. After you have them downloaded, when you start Dota, it should kind of look like this, where you can either launch Dota or you can launch the tools. All right, cool. Then you need a text editor. Go download one. I personally use Sublime. Dr. Teaspoon recommends VS Code here. And then Node.js. This is just so you can run JavaScript. You download this right here. So let's start with that. I'm going to go ahead and download our numbers generator. Cool. I have it downloaded. Now that I have it downloaded, I get this nice little zip file here. Which, don't worry, I'll show you in a second. But you just get a little zip file, which you put yourself into a folder somewhere. I have my little Dota Buts folder. You grab this, you extract it. I think so far everybody can follow. Then you come in here. Now there's a little bit of setup you have to do before you can use it, although it's not very much at all. First, you have the settings down here. Don't just open this, you want to right click it and then you want to open it with your text editor. So in my case, that's Sublime here, right? So we open it with Sublime and then you get this right here. The first thing you need to do here is you want to grab your target directory. So in my particular case, I'm just going to use this directory right here. So the DotaButs directory. Go ahead and copy paste this in here. Now you got to make sure that you use these double slashes. Right, so be on top of that, but no big deal. And then you want to go and find your Dota 2 folder. For that, you go to Steam and then Steam Apps, Common, and then Dota 2 Beta. This is the folder you're looking for, right? I can just go up here, take this, copy paste it, and then slam it in here as well. Good, perfect. Make sure you have your double space, what are they called? Slashes, there you go. And then you save that. Then you want to give it a name, right? So we've got Dota 2 but. Well, we're going to go ahead and name ours Dota 2 but times 5. That's what we want to make. Awesome. Save that. Now, down here, you have this. This is units, heroes, items, and abilities. Kind of makes sense. Units are stuff like creeps, right? Heroes is the heroes and their stats. Items is the stats of items, and abilities is the stats of abilities. So by default, we have this here. Data transformation function, transformations times 10. So I'm just going to change this to times 5. So right now we are modifying the game into a times 5 state. It's going to take everything and turn it into times 5 as much. Simple. Now, right below it, you can also see data transformation function, units transformation function. You can use this to go down here and create individual transformation functions for the different elements. So for heroes and for units, right? And then you can do more complex stuff. So recently we had one about like sine times x with 2 multiplied with 2 times cosine times x multiplied with x or something like that. You know, you can make more complex things. By default, this is commented out though. So by default, this isn't in there. By default, we just have a simple multiplier, right? Again, you can change this if you want very easily, right? You just need to be able to do some basic math. Then if we go down here, we've got our units key blacklist and units key whitelist, right? So what is that? For items, let's go ahead and look at that. That's more important. Blacklist is basically anything that may not be modified, and whitelist is anything that may be modified. For items, you can see that all of this stuff is not to be modified. So that includes stuff like, for example, item being the item being combinable, the item recipe, that it has a recipe and so on, right? That's not going to be changed. That's not going to be modified. By default, you can see there's a lot of stuff that we have removed. But down here, there's also stuff, for example, like ability cooldown, ability cast range. So cooldown, for example, is a big one. For our mode, we don't want cooldown to be modified because then everything's going to have 5 times the cooldown, which is not that fun. So we take that out. We also don't want our cast range to be modified, and we also don't want our item cost to be modified, right? Because those are things that ideally we want to be good. We want them to be normal. Similarly for abilities, right? We don't want cooldowns to be modified. We don't want cast range to be modified. So we'll take these out as well. So what we did is we added them to the blacklist, right? Like we removed the comments, which then added them to the blacklist, making them not accessible for this. Great, we saved this. So now all we have to do is we have to go back into our folder here, right? And then we have run. You click this and it will run. It will download something, which is the Dota template. So that's why I brought that up earlier. Oh, it seems that one of my paths is invalid. All right, let me go ahead and see if that is actually the case. No, seems fine. All right, let me just go ahead and run it again. Maybe it'll work the second time. We had that same issue earlier. Yes. So sometimes you might need to just run it twice. Look, it's not perfect. We'll see if we can fix that. Either way. Now it's done its thing. What has it done? Well, if we go into our Dota buts folder here, you can see there's now Dota 2 but times 5. We open this and it has links to a content and a game folder. These are actually in your proper Dota folders, right? Like these are referenced there. And look, point being, if I now go in here and I click Dota 2 tools, I open this up. We go ahead and we can see our custom games that we have down here, right? This is all the custom games we have, and you may notice, there it is, Dota 2, but times 5. Right, that's the core takeaway from this, is that now we have Dota 2, but times 5 here. We launch this, and then it's going to launch the Dota, and it's going to launch all of the tools. Don't worry about it, this is just going to take a second, this just needs to load, right? Then we are in our asset browser. We're going to open up Hammer, which is the general map editor. And then we go in here and we open Dota fixed VMap. This is part of the template again, right? So something that I've talked about before is that if you make an empty Dota 2 custom game, so you make a custom game that is just supposed to be unmodified Dota, the game isn't playable, it's broken. That's where the template comes in. The template takes that and fixes all of those issues. It just makes it so that the game is actually playable. Then we can test it out up here, right, with this play button. You can click build, and honestly speaking, you should build, right? Like make sure you build the map once. I'm not gonna do it because it'll take a while and it's not necessary 100% of the time. It's bad. It prevents bugs if you do actually build it. So anyway, we have now run it, and here you can see we have our template, right? I'm sure you guys are familiar with this, and I can come in here and modify these values if I want. Right, and you guys can modify these too if you want by default. But more importantly, if we now load into the map, we're going to have all of our heroes here. And if we have a quick little look, you can see, oh, this Medusa is pretty chunky. Wow, that's a big Medusa, right? And her abilities as well. Outgoing damage, 400% extra targets, 20, right? Mystic Snake, crazy powerful. It's Dota 2 times 5. We have made it 5 times as big. Right? Diabolic Edict here, radius, explosions, damage. It's massive. It's huge, right? Look at this thing. Okay, maybe not the best example because you can't actually see it that well, but either way, you get the idea, right? It actually worked. So let's have a quick little look around. It's always important that we make sure that we did everything actually worked out the way we wanted to. So we can see, for example, here, radians actually has a radius of 3,500. Now that's maybe not ideal. We don't want things to have a massive radius. In fact, we just noticed that Diabolic Edict has 2,500 radius. Postnova has a huge radius. So maybe we need to change something about that. We want to make sure that we exclude radiuses as well. While we added, let's look at another potentially problematic ability. Daedalus. You can see Daedalus has a 150% chance to deal 1,125%. 25% damage. I mean, that would be broken as hell, right? And we've got Skull Basher with a 125% chance to stun for 7.5 seconds. Also, not great. So we want to go ahead and see if we can maybe fix those things. Now, this is, again, where our little tool comes in very handy. Let's come in here. Now, in Docs, you can see this. Fields for abilities, heroes, items, and units. So we want to go ahead and grab items and abilities. Let's open up these two first. In here, you can see anything that can be modified. This is a lot of stuff, right? There's just a lot of stuff here. Like, we gotta be a little bit careful that we don't make this too overwhelming by having too many things in there. So we only have the necessary components here, and then this is just a list of all of the other stuff. So what we want to take is we want to reduce radius, right? So replenish radius, visibility radius, true sight radius, damage radius, radius. Well, that seems good. That seems like the appropriate one. So we come in here, and there's our items blacklist, and there's ability blacklist. And then we just grab this, and we add in radius. Make sure to add a little comma, and now radius is also blacklisted. Now, we also wanted to exclude radius from... Wait, we just excluded it from... what's it called? From our from our abilities up here. We also want to exclude it from items though, right? So we go in here, and we add in radius for items. And then for items, we also wanted to exclude chances. So we have, okay, bonus chance damage, block chance, bash chance, melee, bash chance, range. Very good. We'll take this. Right, and we will just copy paste those in there for now. And then there's also criticals, tooltip crit chance, and block chance active crit chance. All right, perfect. We get the crit chance. We take this and we add this in here as well. So now we just make sure we actually have proper formatting. This is, by the way, we're also having, you know, a proper text editor like Sublime will help you make sure you don't make any mistakes, right? So now we have added all of these elements in there for items and for our abilities. Right now, radius is blacklisted from both of them, and we no longer have crit chance and all of that. So at this point, we come in here, we just click run again. This is just gonna run really quick. And there we go. Don't worry, it'll give you some small errors. Again, we'll fix that up. And then we run this game here again. We'll load in really quick. And all pick, there you go. And then we'll see if we can maybe find Leshruck. There you go. Grab Leshruck. Skip ahead. And here we are. So let's see. Radius 500. Very good. All right, we have fixed that up. Radius here, 525. What about our radians? Radius, 3,500. So the radians didn't really work. Now this is where we kind of need to ask ourselves, and don't blame us for this. This is Valve, for some reason, probably giving radians its own radius, or like radius file. Right, now we gotta find what is radiance's radius? Yeah, it's probably damage radius. It's probably that. Right? So if we take this, we add in damage radius as well into the items. Could be debuff radius. Yeah, look, Valve is not very consistent with their naming of stuff. So, okay, cool. We've added in debuff radius. We can run this in the background really quick. right? So let's just do that. But in the meantime, we can be in here and we can have a quick little look. So you can see Daedalus now only has a 30% chance to crit and our Basher only has a 25% chance to bash. Great. So that worked. It's aura radius. Oh, it's not damage radius. It's aura radius. Okay. Now, this is a little bit annoying and there's really no way to like know ahead of times which abilities and items are gonna be annoying like this. Because again, they just have their own unique names for no good reason. It's Valve. You know, it's Valve. They do their thing. Now, there are ways to check for this stuff though, right? So you don't have to just guess. You can actually go into... Wait, this is wrong. There we go. You can actually go in here and you can see scripts and then you go NPC and here you can see all of the abilities and items. So if you come in here and you just search for Radiance, then you can see that item Radiance, 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 there it is. Radiance, and then we can see aura damage, bonus damage, damage illusions, blind percentage, aura radius. So now we know what needs to be excluded. Right, so you can just check it really easily that way. Awesome. So we'll grab this and then we'll come back into our little file up here. Aura radius, make sure we add our comma, save that. And we go all the way back to run. Run it one more time. Then what's damage radius about? Damage radius is probably about a different ability that has a radius that does damage in an AoE. Again, it's Valve. I mean, if you're curious, we can look. Damage radius is for Giant's Ring. Yes, it's just, you know... It's Valve. They do the Valve stuff. Okay. And let's have one last look at our Radiance. There you go. Radius 700. We did it. And now we have a custom game. Good shit, right? It's done. It's maybe still a bit of a disaster, but like... Overall, it's a game. Let's upload it. So I'm going to go ahead and build this once. And then I'm going to just upload it into the workshop together with you. And then we're going to go ahead and play it a little while. You know, we'll play it in a little while. After it's been approved. Now, while this is happening, I want to show you something else. And that is the template. So what we just did is something more specific. This is the numbers generator. Right, and you can use this to make all sorts of fun little stuff. You don't need to have any knowledge of programming or anything like that. As you can see, I didn't really do any programming. And you can just work with it as it is. Of course, if you have some experience with programming and if you maybe have some understanding of maths, then you can make more complex stuff. And that sounds pretty cool too. Now this right here is the template. If you want to make any Dota 2 custom game, please, for the love of God, use the template. It's not even just about Dota bots. It's just about custom games in general. If your game is supposed to be a modification of normal Dota and is supposed to be kind of played like normal Dota, then for the love of God, use this template. I don't benefit from you using it. It will just make the game actually playable, right? I've seen so many custom games be uploaded and then I tried them and they just weren't playable because Dota is broken by default and this actually lets you play your stuff, right? This makes couriers work. This makes passive gold work. Please use this. Thank you. How do you use this? This is the last thing I want to show you today. I've shown this a few times before, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. So this is currently going on. Don't worry too much about it. The template is a really simple system. I'm going to just download this again. So I can just click here, download the zip file. Great. We're downloading the template right now. That is also what gets downloaded with our... with the numbers generator, right? The numbers generator downloads something. It's just a template. Don't worry, it's nothing else. So we have our template now. We're going to add that in here. We're going to extract this. If we open up the template, you can see it's got a content, a game folder, and then a bunch of like a git ignore and a readme, right? Now this may look very similar to just the normal Dota folder, right? The normal custom game folder. And that's because it is exactly the same thing. If we go into our Steam folder here, right? Again, Steam apps, common, and then Dota 2 beta, and then we go into game, and then we have Dota add-ons. You can see all of our add-ons here. If we go into something like, for example, like here, this is just an empty add-on. You can see this has all of the other stuff, has all of the normal stuff in there. So all you need to do is you need to just take these files that I showed you and just copy paste them in there. I'll show you in a second. So anyway, we have loaded this in right now. Perfect. We have our little map. And you can see like it's the same map. I just want you to build it once so it doesn't then bug out. Let's go into the asset browser, and then you can click here Workshop Manager. Workshop Manager, Workshop Manager. There we go. I want to make a new submission, right? So we call this Dota 2 but times 5. Description, created using the Dota 2 but numbers generator. We'll put the link in there. We'll add in an image really quick. We gotta, of course, have a fun little thumbnail. Does it not want to let me? All right, I'll just do it like this then. 1 second. All right, we'll add in a thumbnail. Oh, it doesn't want this one. Okay. Let's go with this. This seems very good. And then we need to make sure that we do not participate in Frostable's 2017. That would be weird if we participated in Frostable's 2017. And then we'll go ahead and make this public, and we submit it. Why is that still in there? It's just in case you want to participate in Frostable's 2017. I mean, who knows, right? Like, you might want to. All right, there we go. And now we get linked to this page, which shows an error. That's because the game hasn't been approved yet. Yeah, it's all very special. Anyway, it needs to be approved first, but no problem. Right? We'll get to that later. So for now, we're gonna go ahead and close down all of this. Right? So we have shut down everything. And we're gonna go ahead and now make a custom game just using the template, just something really simple. So we come in here and we wanna make a new custom game. So let's create a new add-on, right? Template showcase. So I have now created this new add-on. If we go into our files, right? So here's our game. You can see that there's now template showcase. Very good. We want to go ahead and open up a new little window here. And then we have our but template, right? And you can see we're currently in game folder. So we open up this, take this, open up this. There we go. There we go. Finally made it in deep enough. So we take this, copy paste this, and just replace. Done. Right? Now we go back into Dota 2 beta content, and then Dota add-ons, and then there's our template showcase again. We do the same thing here, content, Dota add-ons. Take this and just copy paste it in there. Done. And that's fine. That's it. That's all you needed to do. Now, if we open this, gonna take a second as always. But we open this. I participate with every Dota 2 but yeah. Wait, you can actually still participate? That's funny. But anyway, so we open this, right? We're gonna go in here and we open a map. We don't want to use this one. We want to use our template showcase maps. And then there's our Dota fixed map. Very good. And I'm going to just run this right now. Again, I don't really, I'm not going to build it. You should build it, but I'm not going to do it. And then it doesn't work. So the reason why it didn't work is because I didn't build the map. I now built the map. You just got to build the map. Anyway, you can see now we are in our usual template, right? So you can come in here and you can say, I want to gain 30,000 gold per minute. All right, and other than that, it's just going to be normal Dota.
Choose your hero.
And you come in here, you pick yourself a hero, skip ahead.
Enchanted, I'm sure.
And we'll just start the game really quick. And you can see we're getting a lot of gold per second, right? And other than that, it's got creeps and you've got an actual working courier, and obviously passive gold is working. It's maybe working a little too well. It's working, but you know. I mean, I'm just glad that it's working. I'm just glad that it's actually functioning properly. No minimap. Oh yes, but that's my bad. So why is there no minimap? I didn't. There's no minimap because I didn't check this. Yes, create minimap on load. My bad. You should have checked that box. Should have created minimap on load. Make sure you do that. I didn't do that right there. But then there will be a minimap. Hey, did I? Maybe need to check the Dota 2.5 mode we just made. Anyhow, that's how you make a basic thing with the template. The template itself is much more expansive than this though. You can come in here, you go to scripts, vscripts, and then you have these right here. Right, these .lua files. You want to open these with a text editor again. So I'm gonna go ahead and there you go. I would like to open this with Sublime, thank you. And this is the settings. So you can change like the default settings at the start of the game. You can change stuff like experience tables, win conditions, you know. You can come in here and it has a whole bunch of stuff here, right? Like, look at this. So you can really customize and adjust the game in any way you want. It's really just meant to allow you to easily find your way around things and make little games. Right, and honestly speaking, with the template in combination with the new numbers generator, you should be able to make custom games that are honestly kind of like quite creative, I would guess, without a start item's an interesting one as well. Yeah, see this. More stuff here. You can figure this out. I'm not going to go through this with you right now. But point being, you can make quite a lot of stuff quite quickly, quite easily using these tools. And I would appreciate it if you did. It would be fun. Okay, there's links in the description. Have fun with it. That's really the core, the main goal, right? Is to have some fun with it. So I'll see you tomorrow.